Hello everyone, this is Data from JGX and here we are with another Mech review. Today we're going to talk about the Firestarter. Before we get started, I'd like to remind you, if you haven't done that yet, to hit the subscribe button if you are enjoying this kind of series. Why I decided to talk about the Firestarter? I think that a lot of people underestimate this mech a lot. This one is one of the strongest mechs of the game for a whole lot of reasons that we are going to analyze in a few moments. The hitboxes. God-like level of hitboxes. Small center torso, a little bit wider side torsos, large arms that protect the side torsos. So the arms shield for the side torsos and the side torsos defend the CT. Other mechs, like for example the Timberwolf, are completely different. Like the arms don't shield for the side torsos, the CT pops ahead, so this is kind of shit level hitboxes. On the other hand, mechs like even the Cougar is shit level hitboxes. The arms are not shielding for the side torsos, the CT is coming up forward in the front. On the other hand, mechs like the Firestarter, as I said, they are different because the arms will shield for the side torsos will shield for the CT. For some weird reasons that I don't agree with what is here. Despite being excellent in terms of hitboxes, it also has stupidly high level of survival quirks. Usually survival quirk is used to help those mechs that are bad in terms of hitboxes or firepower. This kind of mechs instead, it's excellent for the shape, it's excellent for the firepower, it's excellent for the survival quirks, it's excellent for the offensive quirks, and it also had the upper hand during the agility pass. Now we'll talk about agility as well. During the agility pass, not all the mechs were addressed the same way. Some mechs got very little, like for example, the competitive Flea with 7 energies, or the Annihilator, the Kodiak, the Direwolf, the Mech Mark II, the Zeus. Some other mechs got a lot out of the agility pass. This one is one of those. Like the acceleration was around 40-45 before the pass. It got almost doubled. Even the pitch went from something like 15 to double. Like this mech got massively buffed with the agility pass. Even 100 turn rate is extremely high for a mech with this kind of tankiness and firepower. So the stats are over the window by a large margin on most of them. Super good agility, super good defensive, super good offensive, excellent hitbox shape. This mech is basically the perfect mech. Now let's go into them one by one. The Ember and the Firestorm are pretty much the same. I'd say that together with the A and the K, they are the best ones. Maybe the Ember and the Firestorm are the best ones. You want to load them with 4 heavy machine guns and 4 small poles. The reason is that, for example, the quirks are very similar, but the point is that once you have heavy machine guns, recently the Cauldron buffed heavy machine gun range, and these mechs also have machine gun rate of fire, laser duration, energy cooldown. The Firestorm has slightly different quirks, range, but still rate of fire, energy cooldown. Like the DPS of these mechs is insane. Is as if they had 5 small pulses and 8 machine guns, more or less. It's not exactly that. It's a little bit less maybe, but just to give you an idea of the amount of firepower that this kind of mech has, it's over the window. It's out of the window. Yeah, it's out of the window. Firestarter Firestorm. Same build. 4 heavy machine guns, 4 small pulses. I've recently done a video on the Firestarter. You can just look at that one. The ammos are more than enough, because you know what? It's a perfect mech. Let's also buff the ammunition, because why not? Classic cauldron style. Jump jets. It also got the upper hand on the jump jet pass. Like the amount of buff that the jump jets for the 35 tonners had in the jump jet pass was insane. So it got basically the upper end in every pass. As for the survival, 38, 33, it's a lot, because of course you buff the whole survival tree, and especially on the structure, you notice how much impact buffing the entire survival tree has. It's basically a 50% buff to the structure. It's completely stupid. For these reasons, once you start brawling with this kind of mech, and you rotate around your enemy because of the overbuffed agility, you can tank whatever you want. This is really, it's insane. Like, there is no reason. Like, it's exactly why we did it with the Firestarter A. During Comp 2021, the Firestarter was the most used mech in the comp. The Firestarter A with 8 small pulses, and the second best had half the usage rate of the Firestarter. Like, the Firestarter is broken without any doubt. The Firestorm is pretty much the same thing. Very minimal changes. It's super strong as well, like the Ember. Maybe the Ember is slightly better, maybe, but it really depends. I'd say that if there is some difference, it's very minimal, and the Firestorm is an excellent mech as well. Other Firestarters, the A and the K, 8 energies. Inner Sphere doesn't have Ghost Heat on small pulses. This means 8 small pulses, heat neutral, super DPS, super pinpoint. You just drop this mech like this. You don't heat up. The lasers don't have a burn time, basically. They're point and click. And you annihilate everything at close range. It's basically heat neutral.
Target acquired.
Like, each shot like this, it's 32 damage. Like, it's as if I'm shooting more than 3 AC-10s every time with a fucking 35 tonner. This is 3 AC-10s, 3 AC-10s, 3 AC-10, 3 AC-10, 3 AC-10. This is just stupid. That's why this is the most used mech in Comp 2021, and the second most used had only half the user rate of this one. The K is pretty much the same. It's just that instead of having range, it has, I think, laser duration. I need to check. Battle Mech Light, Firestarter K, it has laser duration. They are pretty much the same. You do 8 small pulse, 8 small pulse. Other alternative builds, yes, there are. I like this one. 3 light PPCs, and regular small lasers. Oh, but regular small lasers are shit. No, they're among the best weapon in the game because they were already very, very, very strong before. You can check my video. Data gets 10v1'd and kills everyone when I have an annihilator with 7 small lasers, 4 LB10s, and I killed 10 people in a row while being last man standing. They were exceptionally strong, these small lasers. They got buffed for the sake of buffing for 3.20, from 3.25 damage to 3.75. There was no reason at all to buff these weapons, but they got buffed because most of the people that are doing these buffs are just full brawl fanboys. So they buff this kind of shit even when it's completely unnecessary. And as a result, the damage per hit of this weapon is completely screwed up. And you can keep firing them non-stop at will. So this mech is strong at range because it can pop tart with the 3 light PPCs, and it can generate a good DPS with 3 light PPCs, and then it can cool off while keep shooting the small lasers. So you keep peeking like this. You can also pop tart with the jump jets because they got overbuffed. And then when you're at close range, you can alpha strike everything. Or when you're hot, let's say that I'm hot like this, and I need to keep firing. I keep firing the small lasers. This is around 16, 17 damage more or less per shot. And I can keep doing this non-stop. And I'm actually cooling my mech while I'm doing it. I'm losing heat. Or if I let him take a breath, I can jump jets, find someone, boom, alpha strike everything. This is an all-around mech. You can fight at range, you can fight in brawl, you can do everything with this mech. Another interesting version of this mech, of the A, is the Yarl small and MPL. It's basically an alternate version of 5 MPLs. Like the old build that you have on the Vulcan. You can do something very similar on the A. Again, the Yarl smalls, they had their damage up from 325 to 375, and then they had their heat down twice. As a result, despite we had like the inner rule, like medium pulse is the best weapon, let's not buff things above it. Now basically 2 Yarl smalls are a better medium pulse that weighs 1 ton less. So if you put Yarl smalls, you just have better performance than 1 medium pulse, and you also save a ton, so you add a heatsink, and you are even colder. This is basically 2 medium pulse, 6 Yarl smalls. This is basically 5 medium pulse, but better with more heatsink, better alpha, because 5 medium pulse is 34.5, 5 medium pulse is just 30. This one has more alpha, more heatsinks, blah blah blah. The damage per heat of a medium pulse, the heat is 3.8, so one of this 1.9 multiplied per 2 is 3.8, so the heat of 2 of these is the same of a medium pulse, but the damage is more, because this is 3.75 multiplied per 2, which is more than 6, and you also add a heatsink on top of that. So there is no reason why you shouldn't bring this instead of 5 medium pulses. So this, I'd say that this is overbuffed above the old overperformer by a very large margin. But the one with the small pulses is even more overbuffed, and it's even stronger than this one. But this one, again, it's very strong as well. This is a mid-range poker.
Target destroyed. Fuel at 25%. Fuel at 0%.
Other fire starters, the S, 5 medium poles with heat. It's okay. It's still, it's what shouldn't have been crossed, like the old medium poles meta, the one we had in World Championship 2020. This one is okay, just 5 medium poles, same rule as the other one, but better mounts, side peak. This one, the K, again, I said it before, is like the A. The Firestorm is identical to the Ember, very minimal differences. The H, it was the one with 6 medium lasers. Now it got quirks for the sake of quirking on ballistics. You could try on the H 6 small pulses and 2 heavy machine guns because of the ammo capacity. Or you could try 6 medium lasers. All this stuff like LB20, Gauss ammo is just quirk clutter for the sake of quirking that makes no sense. And that's pretty much it. So in the end, I strongly encourage you to run fire starters because they are very strong. The builds that I think will excel the most in quick play, of course, guys, when you run them, I already explained how you should do a skill tree in the skill tree tutorial video, but I'm just showing it here again. It's vital that on a light you go like this, full survival. Why? Go look at the skill tree video. This one, you should definitely run it. The Firestorm as well. The A or the K with 8 small pulses. It's out of the window OP. Same thing for this one. This is completely OP as well. So there is no reason not to run these mechs. You should run these mechs. I strongly encourage you to run these kind of mechs. That's it for today. We're done. I hope you enjoyed the video. And again, if you haven't done that yet, and if you're enjoying these kind of reviews, please remember to hit the subscribe button. And I'll catch you next time, guys.